Hey everybody, welcome back to the Warriors Den. Please share my anger at Damien, who's not here yet. He apparently had a meeting that's going long, so let's all razz him when he actually does get here. I know I will. But hey, as usual, I'm here for you. You can trust me. Forget about this guy who's not here. Welcome back to the Warriors Den. We have had about 6 or 7 weeks of really action-packed, info-packed shows on the stream, which is super nice, I think, for you and for me to do a show full. Oh, Damien's here. Hello. Hello. I was doing the time-honored tradition of stretching for time. But I was saying we've had a lot of weeks full of content and information and news and all that. And this week is a much more chill week. We don't have big announcements this week. We don't have new gameplay to show. We don't have new events to reveal. But we've got this guy, finally.
Sorry.
Where were you?
I had a chat with Roman.
Is he coming?
No, because he's not.
What? He's supposed to be here too?
Yeah, I know,
oh
I know,
my
I know.
God.
In the end, he can't come.
These guys.
It's we're leaving tonight, tomorrow morning for 2 weeks, and the amount of things we need to close before leaving is insane. Anyway.
Everyone in the chat give a big sigh.
I printed the Q&A and all. I'm ready.
I already printed everything for you.
I have more announcements, in fact.
What?
Yeah.
Announcements?
Yeah.
I hate it when he does this. Well, anyway, welcome. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I think everyone's happy that you're here because they don't have to just listen to my terrible voice. But thank you for joining us. So I want to jump right in.
Yes.
And I did a little line here on our run of show. Let's start with an update on where we are with our dedicated servers.
Yes.
If you're unaware, if maybe you haven't had a chance to play or tune in to anything For Honor related this week, we're now live. Our dedicated servers are now live on console on PS4 and Xbox One.
Woo! Yes. Yay!
And it's going really well.
It is. It is.
We were just talking before the start, and we were saying, like, Bio, who's on the show later, is like, how is it going? I mean, I haven't seen people saying a lot of stuff. I'm like, that's exactly a good sign. They're not saying anything. That's pretty good. Now, there are some known issues we wanted to call out, but these are very minor, and I think it was really good in the end, the way we did PC first, because it did allow us to identify some big issues that the team fixed in time for the console release. So I think the rollout worked as intended.
Yes.
But just some known issues, unless you want to give another high-level update.
No, please go and I will jump in if I have
So we do know some people have run into grouping issues. You'll group with your friends, go into a match, and leader will get in, but then some of his teammates might just get stuck in a lobby matchmaking forever thing, which is not ideal. So the team is working very hard on that right now. They're, I think, kind of close to a fix, but they don't have a fix just yet, but they're on it. So stay tuned for updates on that, on when we can fix that. There is, this isn't really in-game, but we did the open test in December.
Yes.
That's how we knew we were ready to go with the servers. Part of that was this rewards thing. So people who participated in it would get rewards for participation. And we were waiting until the servers were live to give those rewards. We've done it on PC. Console players are wondering when they get theirs. And in fact, our guy, we do have a guy who like presses a button. He's not here this week. So I suspect those will be rolling out next week if you haven't gotten them yet.
When he's back.
So starting Monday, he'll be here.
Lots of pressure on Monday to push the button. So it's not only pushing a button. It's more complex than that. That's why we need to wait for him.
Exactly. If it was a button, I could. That's something I can manage. But no, he has to do some work on that. But they are coming. Don't worry. We haven't forgotten about them. And another issue that we're looking at right now, if we have any Italiano folks watching right now, we are aware that some folks in Italy are having less than ideal connection experiences. And we knew before we did servers that our connection rates in Italy in general were kind of the lowest in Europe. It's not a For Honor thing. It's kind of a
and they had a
infrastructure
lot of red
thing
gnats as well.
Exactly, they had the gnats as well.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you right now all the things we can do for it because the team is actively investigating it, but we are actively investigating it. We'll do whatever we can on our side. Sometimes there's a limit based on a country or a region's ISPs, things like that. Even if that's the case, I think we'll let people know. I think on Rainbow, in fact, there was some country that had a similar issue, and that the players in that country actually talked to their ISP and made some settings change, and it fixed it. So anything is possible, so stay tuned, but I just wanted our Italian players to know we're looking into that.
Yeah. I'd like to add
Yes.
on the servers. So first, results are really good, stability-wise, connectivity-wise. So we're very happy about that. No resyncs, no more session regressions and stuff like that. So all of that went to 0%. So that's really cool. We have the team already spotted some bugs that are impacting stability and connectivity. So even if it's really good, it can be better.
Of course.
And that's one part of the message that now we released it. Team is super happy.
Yep.
But their priority is still to work on that and still to optimize it, to find bugs, to find anything that make it not as good as perfect, basically.
Yep.
And so they are already identified some bugs that they will fix soon. It's server-side bugs, so that's even cooler. So it means we don't need maintenance, we don't need submission and all.
That's great.
So the team is still behind that, and it's still their top priority for the coming weeks, so that we're sure everything is fine.
Yeah, good job. Good to mention that, because I had gotten questions like, what is the Onion team's next priority?
Yeah, so now their priority
optimization,
are
really.
still the servers to optimize how we use those and basically everything around that, and also to still push up the connectivity and stability because the numbers we have, even if are really good, those are the starting numbers for us. It's like we can, like we did with peer-to-peer, we improved it along the way. We still want to do that with servers so that we can have really
as good as possible.
Yeah, as good as possible.
As humanly possible.
Yeah.
Cool. So this morning, we released a live update.
Yes.
We have those patch notes if you weren't aware. We had already posted those, but in case you weren't aware of, it's not an extensive update, but it's some very targeted things. First of all is our AFK timer update.
Yes.
So we mentioned before with Season 5, we've increased our diligence on AFK in general, the way that we are monitoring it, so the frequency that we are acting on it, the escalation.
The escalation, yeah, exactly.
The escalation of sanctions if you are found to be abusing it. We've done all these things, which is great. We're really seeing a positive effect. And then this was sort of the last piece for now of what we wanted to do, which is adjust the AFK timers. So basically when the system knows to kick someone out who's just standing there and ruining your session of Dominion. So in 4v4 modes, the timer is 45 seconds. So 45 seconds of no action and you're out. And I've seen a lot of discussion about this. I know people are like, hey, what if I get some pizza delivered? It's not something I think is going to happen every match. It's sort of an outlier case. What's more important for us is people not negatively affecting your gameplay session as a teammate or as an opponent. So that sort of trumps that. I hear you.
And
I understand
even the
that.
120 seconds, you couldn't get the pizza,
Yes,
buy
true.
pay for it.
It's
and,
true. So it
and
was
come
120
back.
seconds previously.
So, yeah, exactly. So we think we need to find the best time so it doesn't impact everybody else.
Yep. And then in Duel and Brawl, it is a 30-second timer, so it's a little bit shorter because those modes are shorter. But obviously, keep us updated on how you're feeling about these changes. Give us the feedback. Like I said, I do understand people are like, we need some leeway here. But it's sort of just a decision. Like we did see a real big uptick in people abusing AFK practices starting around Season 4. And it's more important for us to lock down those things than you getting a pizza break during a match.
And you can still have your pizza break between matches.
Exactly. Yeah, tell the delivery man to wait for a few minutes. This is a thing that was close to my heart. It's a very small change, but it is something we mentioned at the launch of our servers. We would keep an eye on the regions around the world and how they're performing and the feedback on them. And right away, we got a lot of feedback from some folks in some of our Middle Eastern countries. Not all of them, but some of the Middle Eastern countries kind of on the edge were being routed through our Singapore server. And the reasons for that were very good. The team based it all on data. I've never said it that way. Data. And latency was overall less going to Singapore, but We got a lot of feedback from players that they prefer going through Europe as they were previously. And in fact, we made this change on the P2P side as well. They weren't matching with Europe for a time, and we made that change so they could. So they really appreciated that, and we're doing it again. So part of this live update is specifically Kuwait, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain. You're now matchmaking through Europe instead of Asia. So let us know how that experience is for you. If it's much better, if it's slightly better, if it's not better at all. We want to know those things. But that sort of folds into if you're in X region across the world and you have a question, like let us know what your experience is like, because we need to know that thing to make any sort of decisions. So we know, actually it's in one of our Q&As, but we know Australia.
Yeah, we have many and other questions, but we'll do a good Q&A time.
Yeah. So even if Ramon's not here, we'll still do a Q&A.
Yeah.
So yes, always let us know if you're in a region that you feel is not being properly handled. Cool. And then what is this, Damien? Some fighter fixes.
Fixed an exploit that caused the animation of some cancelled attacks to not play properly, resulting in a faster transition to the mix-up. Example of this, very good example, because it's the Kensei. Kensei is always a good example. Kensei's top heavy would not be playing when cancelled into the pommel strike, resulting in it being much faster than expected.
Much faster than expected.
So basically, we made a fix on some of the attacks for the transition mix-up. So the Conqueror, heavy opener, charge heavy, and heavy finisher to full block stance and shield uppercut. The Peacekeeper, the right heavy finisher, the left heavy finisher to dagger cancel. The Raider, the zone attack, and Raider's Fury to stunning tap. Valkyrie, the heavy opener, the heavy finisher to shield crush. Kensei, so the top heavy opener, as we already said, and the second chain top heavy as well to pommel strike. And Shugoki, the heavy opener to Demon's Embrace. And Highlander, the Balor's Might to Fomorian King and Noctis. Why are you laughing?
Someone in chat, I guess, is catching up. Why do you need one person to push a button? Are you idiots? We weren't being literal. We don't literally have a button. Calm down. Ah, sorry.
Which button it is? Okay. Conqueror. So we did a bug fix on the Conqueror. We fixed an issue that caused the unblockable visual effect to not be displayed when performing the shield uppercut after a flail uppercut. So that's cool. And on the Shinobi side, we also did another bug fix. We reverted the following change introduced in version 1.18. The change was, after any hit, the Shinobi did not reinitialize his charge when heavy attack is still held. Now the charge of the Shinobi works in terms of input, like the charge of the Conqueror, for example. So we reverted that because it caused the Shinobi to be able to perform multiple double dodges in a row.
Dodge. Unintended.
More easily than it was originally intended and made it the timing to launch the kick much harder.
Yep.
So now, what is the current situation is that to restart a charge after any move or attack, the player must release and press the heavy attack button again. Voilà, that's all.
So no more annoying quad dash, whatever we want to call it, quad dodge. But if you're a Shinobi, maybe that's not annoying. Maybe it's annoying that we fixed it. But it was never intended. So there it is. It's back to the way it should be. Yes, and then we just updated some moveset icons and stuff, which is not super important.
Exactly.
Cool.
I have something else.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, it's what this is. So it's a good news. It's a good news.
I'll give you the floor then.
So we want to give more incentive to play ranked.
Oh, good.
Ranked matches. We know that right now ranked tribute is not very popular. Dual tournament is pretty popular. In fact, I was surprised. We looked at the number recently.
It's doing okay since the new servers.
Since the new servers and all on new seasons, pretty popular. Anyway, so we have many different actions we want to do on ranked matches. And we want to deliver everything next week. But in fact, some things were delivered today. But it's not in the patch note. Nobody's aware of it. You're even not aware of it.
Oh.
So what is delivered today and that is really cool, is that we've increased the rewards in ranked play, in ranked 4v4. So now you will gain more XP and more steel, a little bit, but still, on 4v4 ranked. So we increased by around 10% the rewards on 4v4 ranked. So for example, Dominion ranked is moving from 460 XP to 510 XP. And the steel is moving from, I don't have the, do I have it? I don't have it.
He has a giant
It's
matrix
moving
on
to 53, but I don't know what was the original value. Anyway, so it's we're increasing by around 10% XP in steel on ranked play. So that's really cool. And what we will do next week, so big changes next week. First one being that we are going back to Dominion ranked.
Yes.
Because Tribute ranked is not popular enough, so we think it's better to go back to the one that was more popular. Some players are also requesting that, say, yeah, we're preferring Dominion ranked as a Tribute ranked, so we go back to Dominion ranked. Even more than now we have the servers, so Dominion is more stable and all. It could give the opportunity to the player who weren't doing it on previous seasons to do it at that season. So that's a change. So we plan to do it next week. We never know what happens.
Yes,
I
it's
won't
still
be
in
here.
testing right
so
now.
that's the plan. Might be not next week, but that's the plan.
Yep.
The other thing I want to do, I'm doing all of that through, I think I put it in my Q&A section. Let me check, because I don't want to say bad things. We are also tuning the how we consider your personal score versus the win match result. So right now, what has the more weight is how well you perform during your match, and then if you win or lost the match, it will hinder that. It will give a boost of that value. Now we're giving a higher value to the winning condition. So if you win a match, it will boost even more your personal performance on that match, so that it makes more sense for the player. Because we had situation, for example, where we had players telling us, well, I won a match, but I lose 40% in my ranking.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yep.
And then, so this was because that person was the last person in his team in the match. And because he was doing a very bad score, the boost on that bad score wasn't making him good at the leaderboard state.
Okay.
And so he was considered as losing with the ranking system, when in fact he won the match, even if he didn't contributed a lot to that match. So now we're trying to find a new balance where we take into consideration more the win and loss condition of the match.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes, but that's something we want to test. And the other thing we are changing as well that was going against that perception is the fact that we have, when you go up in division or go down in division, we have a bonus or malus in English, malus, of 25%. So when you go up in a division, you are not winning 3% with your match, but you're winning 28%. And that was because of the bonus. And we have that bonus so that you don't fluctuate a lot from one division to the other.
Okay.
But it's misleading a lot our player base, and they're really not understanding those big jumps. So now we want to still keep that bonus and that malus, but by reducing the value. So now it will go to 10% only. Okay. So that it's absorbing 1 or 2 fluctuation, but not more than that. So now you shouldn't have crazy jump and up and down when we do that update as well. Cool. And I think, yeah, and that's all of it. We're still working on master rank. That's not forgotten. The team is still on it. No ETF for the moment, but that would be the extra next step, but a bigger step for the people who are ranked Diamond 5 and then are like, okay, I finished it. What do I need to do? So that's the state of rank. So more rewards right now, and then change of how we rank players next week, and change of the mode, which will go back to Dominion.
Cool.
Voilà. And we don't know yet if we reset players or not, based on what they did during those 2 weeks. It will depend greatly on the amount of players who get ranked, so we need to look at the data, etc. We might reset players, we might not reset them.
Okay.
And if we won't reset them, it means that it's because there are not a lot of players, so we don't need to reset everyone.
So do you think for the time being then that Dominion will remain as the main 4v4 ranked mode, or do you want to continue to change it?
I think it will remain the 4v4 ranked mode. I don't think we'll try to change to go to elimination or skirmish, for example. We know it won't work anyway. Then if we have a stronger 4v4 modes that comes in the future with one of our variation, introducing an event or something like that, we could consider it as well. But for the moment, I think Dominion is the game to go.
And I think I would mention too that so we were seeing, it's awesome. We're seeing a lot of people coming back to For Honor, and with the stability of the servers, I would urge everyone to kind of give it another shot, get a team, get kind of a dedicated team together, and get into ranked. It's apart from all the things Damien's team is going to be working on. One other thing I would say too, because I get this question a lot, is like how do I find people to come to workshops? How do I find people to do competitions on streams and stuff? And it's a lot of answers to that, but my plan, once ranked becomes a good popular mode, is to really use our top scorers on ranked to source new players for us to talk to get feedback, to get that high level competitive feedback. So it's not just pissing in the wind, as you might say in the States. It's a good if you are good at For Honor and you want to stick with For Honor, I definitely recommend spending some time in ranked, because it's not just a waste of time. So let's give it time. Let's see over the course of the season with all these new people coming back, and we've got it's worth spending some of your time.
And we have other ideas to still give more incentive to play rank. Just don't want to speak about those.
Yeah, this isn't the end of your measures.
Yeah, because we're not validated yet and all, but the team of Bio has a lot of very cool proposals that I'd like to see. So, voilà. But that would be later on.
Cool. Well, that was a good tangent.
That was a cool surprise, huh?
Cool.
So that's one of the reasons why I was late.
Yes.
It was to figure that out before coming, so we can discuss it, because it's not in the patch note, it's nowhere. But now it's out. Now it's public.
Well, great. I don't know why it's on the patch note, but it is. That's the case. So maybe this is a surprise for you. Do you have your run of show? I wanted to show our next roadmap.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So hopefully you're prepared to talk about that a little bit, because I know that you have seen it. So yeah, we last month we showed, I think it was Feb 15 to March 15-ish, 1 month roadmap of stuff that's happening in For Honor. So we wanted to show the next one now. This is sort of an intent for us going forward, is to give you more visibility into what's coming, so it's not always week to week. You can get a monthly view. So I think we're ready to do that now. If Max has it, there it is.
Woo! So we changed the form as well. Now it's clearer. It looks like a timeline.
Yeah. Damien's OCD went off the charts on the last one.
The team of Pascal is very smart. Like, why not do a timeline to showcase a timeline? I like that.
That was so passive aggressive. It's because Pascal's in the room. He's not usually here.
Yeah. That's why I'm trying to. Anyway. So, Okay, actually, so why am I reacting?
Because there's an error on it.
It's because there is an error on it. It's
not an error live on the stream.
It's not an error. In fact, it's a change.
Yeah.
We don't want to do realistic Dominion next week.
Yeah.
Because of what
you just said.
We want to push Dominion rank next week, and we don't think it's super smart to push an event at the same time.
Yes.
So Dominion, realistic Dominion won't be pushed next week.
You can put it back up.
But it will be back a bit later on. Should it be on that timeline? Yes, it will be back on that timeline, but not on the 15. It's not validated yet, and I will be murdered, I think, if I say it, but I still want to say it because I'm crazy. Right now, we think it should go on the 23rd March.
Okay.
But it's not validated. It's not validated, but that's the plan.
Wow.
So, Dominion ranked 15 with a lot of rank push.
Yep.
Realistic Dominion on the 23rd. And now I will die. And Dominant Executioner on the 16th, that's still true.
Yes.
When you see a lock, it means that we will reveal new weekly content.
Right.
Those
are things
because
like
it's
our
weekly,
outfits,
it's
our
weekly.
emotes, our effects.
Exactly. So we have one per week. Vanquisher Rush. So we'll do again a Faction Rush. That's cool. That's cool.
Always
people
prepared
like
for this show, Dave.
Yeah. See? Dance of Death is coming back.
Yeah, people
That's
are psyched.
really
I can see
cool.
the reactions.
That's
people
really
love
cool.
Dance of Death.
It's coming back on the 5th. So I'm very happy about that.
Good.
And because I will be back in, so I will be able to play it too. And Tribute Vanquisher on the 13th.
Right.
So you have some game event mode, some orders and stuff like that. So yeah.
And
so
people are asking
busy.
because anytime we don't show this on a roadmap, people get worried. Arena mode, arena
mode.
trials.
So we cut it. It's gone.
No.
We won't do it. No. So arena mode, it's still there, still very important. In fact, I think we had a question on the Q&A about it.
Yeah.
The plan is still the same.
Yep.
So the plan is to still keep a window to be able to react if anything happens on the servers on the coming days, weeks.
If we need a patch.
If we need a hot fix, basically. Because as soon as we trigger the arena patch, we can't do hotfix anymore, and it will be a longer patch because we're redoing the whole playgo, meaning that we're redoing the whole first flow of the player, so it's a bigger submission, etc., etc. So we still want to keep a little window to anything that happens on the servers for the coming weeks, and then as soon as that's secure, and we say, okay, servers are good, no big new issues or whatever, then we trigger the patch of the arena mode and we release it to you.
Cool.
So
still
still
this
the plan.
season is the plan. Don't worry.
Don't worry. Be happy.
It's a lot of insight into kind of very nitty-gritty certification submission processes, but it is a reality that we have to live with every day. It would be great to release patches as frequently as possible as we can, but it's not.
So if you have issues in the server, etc., if you have, send it to us, send everything you can, because we try to identify those now so that we can do a hotfix if we need to, and then so that we can move on the next patch that will have the super new tutorial, super new first flow, new arena, etc., etc. That I can't wait to get you playing on.
Let us know now, sooner rather than later, if there are big issues. I mean, I know you will. No one's going to hold back if they have an issue, but that is good to know. Cool. Okay, so we'll be tweeting that roadmap. Probably going to edit it first, so it's accurate, but we'll be posting that later. Okay, we have content of the week, as you just mentioned, the little lock. So let's see what this week's content of the week is. It is battle outfits. I feel like this is usually how we start a new season after we do.
You know, you had a lot of cool stuff.
It's a low price point if you want to get it.
Maybe we need to say that because the event is over.
Yep, I skipped that, yes.
Yeah.
You can still get the bundles for Apollyon's Legacy now, but not much longer.
Yeah, and this is also true for the Celebration bundle and the Rub Insult and
Down the Hatch.
Down the Hatch, those, they stay there. We won't remove them, but the Mythic outfit will be removed on the 12th, I think, or is already removed, I don't know.
The 12th is the date.
Maybe it's already gone.
The 12th is the date I have for everything.
For everything, okay. So if it's gone, get the bundle. If it's not gone yet, it will be gone at the same time as the
Yes.
bundle.
Last chance. Cool. Yes. So content of the week, it's battle outfits. We've got a video. Let's check them out, and then we'll be back with BO for an update on the faction war and other things. I was preparing like my transition from the transition, but it was way longer than I remember that being. Hi, welcome back.
Hi.
Your hair has changed again.
You're very
Every time your hair
observant.
changes, people notice on the Reddit. Like there's
Wow.
discussions. Just prepare yourself.
Well-
There's always discussions.
Well, they can have debate about my hair color if they want. It's okay. If it's the only thing that they have a problem with, I will be happy.
Well, welcome back.
Hi.
How are you enjoying the new season? There's a lot of changes that your team has made.
I played a lot of Apollyon event. Could not finish Test Your Metal 3 though.
We got numbers on that.
I was at
47% of people completed it.
yeah,
Less than half are able to do it.
but which is still higher than what I expected. Next
that-
time we
I'm
need to
very
be
bad.
harsher.
Harsher. Oh man, I don't know
Oh,
about
no.
Because then like within the first 20 minutes, we saw people beating them alone.
that. Solo.
So like, okay, we might have been too nice.
Yeah, but it was great. It was very fun. And if people have feedback about the event, would like to hear about it. Our
Yes.
team doesn't do everything.
you're not
we
just a
do a
faction war
big part
team,
of it,
though.
but not everything at all. It's from everybody on the floor touches the
Yep.
events. So we can have comments for everybody, and I would like to gather them and give the feedback to everyone.
Yep. Yup. We want that feedback because events aren't stopping. That's not
No.
the end of events for Honor.
But the gear from the Apollyon event, though, this is over.
Yep.
So
But
It's true.
you can still get the bundle.
yeah, but there's no gear in it.
Yeah, the bundle doesn't have the
True.
armor and weapons.
Yeah. So it's over for the
sadness.
armor and
Stop looking for
weapon.
silver linings here.
Sadness.
Yeah. So they're not anymore in the crates,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they are not lootable at
So
the end
to
of match.
answer Senuto's question,
Is
Yeah.
they are
the
not
event usable?
anymore
I'm sorry,
lootable.
Senuto. You don't have all your pieces. I do, though. So.
So
Next
just
time,
steal
maybe.
Bio's account.
Don't tell that. I got hacked like 3 times already.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's not good. That
No.
shouldn't happen.
Don't dare them to do that.
I wonder though, like maybe sometime in the future, there's a way to get these things again. I
We might bring them up again at one point. We never did that so far, so I don't know. It's debatable.
Because if we bring them, they don't feel extra special anymore.
But
Yeah.
if we bring them back, they won't. They will never be permanent for sure.
Mm.
That's for sure. That's a given. But then maybe
we will see.
we could have ways to do that
Okay.
if it's interesting.
Okay.
Something we can play with
Okay.
for sure.
So we've just we didn't just so we would. This is funny. Last week, Bio was going to be on the show last week.
Yeah.
Because it basically was every 2 weeks she would come on the show and talk about the campaign that has just ended for Faction War, but we changed the end date for our
Yes.
campaigns, which used to be called rounds, which means now you're on, even though it ended Friday, last Friday.
Well, in the night.
Yeah.
between.
We couldn't give the update on last week's show, so you're here now.
Yes.
It's not fresh information
Not
because
fresh.
it's happened a few days ago, but
So
still
how
worth
will we
talking
do
about.
it next time?
Have
we decided?
It still has to be decided.
Okay.
We're waiting on your answer, actually.
Yes?
Yes. My manager poked me this morning that we're waiting on your answer.
I think I said I was liking both options.
Yeah,
and
but
not the
two-
third
That's
one.
a
It's
good
not-
non-answer.
Anyways, we will
Okay.
figure it out. I'm not going away.
We're doing a design meeting on the show today.
As long as you want to have me here, I'll be here.
We could ask the community.
Sure.
Sure.
Oh, you're like not taking the decision.
Yeah.
No, but we
Okay.
could ask because
Well,
basically what was the discussion? It was either you come just before it finishes
Yeah, and I
to
can
give like the last hints, like if you want to win it, you need
Mm-hmm.
to do it that way,
Yes.
which I think is really cool. Either, what was the
we
other one?
adapt all the next battles just a little bit so
To
that it
finish
fits
before
that
you
it's
come.
gonna be finished on Thursday morning.
Okay.
So it's the two options we have.
Tell us
Come
what you
before it
think.
ends, or we tweak all the next battles so it
Yeah.
finishes on.
Do you want Bio to come to do the recap of what happened? Or do you want her to tell you what to do?
Tips and tricks.
Last minute chances?
That could be
Well,
interesting to
it's up to
actually-
you now, guys.
That would be
Looks
interesting
like
to
it.
see if something you suggest actually affects any change. That could be really.
I don't think I have that power, Eric.
We'll find out if we do it. We'll leave it up to you. You tell us.
They won't listen to me. Look at the volcano. They listen to no one.
We're
Not
gonna get
even
into.
only the
themselves.
night.
Do you want to get into the volcano right now?
We can.
No, I mean not literally.
No,
Don't
let's
jump
go.
into the
Yeah,
volcano.
let's go.
Okay.
Because the Viking won again. The
Vikings won.
campaign.
Yes.
Yes, with a 35% of war assets of troops. Oh, sorry. Deployed across all the campaign, which is good, very good. And I looked at why did the Viking won this campaign again, and I have some data for you, just for you, Damien.
Cool.
So first is obviously for the night, why did they lose the campaign is the volcano obviously has a big impact. First battle, there was already 10 million troops on it. It's kind of ridiculous. But this campaign, something very cool happened. The samurai isolated the volcanoes, I think yesterday. So all the troops that were in the volcano had no reinforcement the whole battle.
Oh.
So it dropped for a couple of millions to 800K only.
Oh.
The lowest it's been forever. So this is the way to get the volcano back,
That's
actually.
amazing.
It's by isolating it, and then they lose all of their
God.
troops. So we can get all of them.
Which the flip side is the samurai could be saving the knights from themselves.
Yeah, they could be saving them
because
from
the knights
themselves.
are kind of in a civil war right now. Half of them are pissed that the other half is putting all of the troops onto the volcano, so they never win. Maybe the samurai are the real heroes here.
Yeah, they're
or
good
maybe
guys.
the samurai start fighting for the volcano and then
Then
we're really in deep shit
Oh,
for
no.
the faction
That would be
war. It's like
amazing.
if everybody start fighting for
And
that.
I like the Vikings are staying out of it and,
Yeah, like-
and just raking up the wins here.
Exactly. But it's not the only reason.
Right.
I also saw that the last campaign, the knights actually used the war banner and deploy manually less than ever since we introduced the war banner. Only 45% of strategical deployment, so that's also a problem.
So knights, get your shit together.
Get your
and,
shit together. And for the samurais, the same problem they always had, they just play less matches. So each
Interesting.
player
quality is the more
generates
important part.
less war assets than all of the other ones.
Wow.
So just gotta
Interesting.
try
Play more?
harder, guys.
Play more.
So that's always the same problem because we balance the amount of war assets with the amount of players. But if you don't play a lot or if you don't play very well, because your score also influences the number of troops you get,
Yeah.
well, you get less because it's not about who's the most there. It's about also who's the best. So get good, samurais.
Okay.
Sorry, Damien.
Maybe it's because of Damien.
Probably because of David. He plays a lot. Maybe he's bringing you down.
Hey, but that was not the only faction-related thing we got to do.
No. I have the new strategic territories update because, as people probably know now, we have mills, the forge, and also the castles. And it was very cool. We saw people get way more involved. We
Good.
won a 5% more involvement in the faction war.
Good.
Going to 55%. So thanks
cool.
to you, everybody, to getting involved in the feature. And there was a lot of back and forth to take the mills. The champion of mill taking / stealing were the knights. They actually stole mills for more than 8 battles from the other factions.
So the knights seem very...
They don't fight for the war, they fight for interesting locations.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're very dedicated people that only care about a few things, which is volcanoes and mills.
It's like if you dangle a shiny thing in front of a baby. That's what they want. Maybe that's
So they're
the knights.
cats.
Yeah,
They're-
or a cat, yeah.
Yeah, babies. It's not
Babies like
big.
shiny things too.
Yeah, but cats are better.
Baby cats.
Oh, okay. No. So that was very cool. And right now, the Vikings have the Knights Mill, so let's keep that, guys. Don't forget to deploy your troops there. Otherwise, we had our first faction rush.
Yes.
Yes.
So a second faction-related feature.
Yeah, it's also coming from the team I'm part of. And why did the Knight win? I had a lot of, there was a lot of ideas on the forums.
First of all, we should say the Knights won across all platforms.
All platforms, because it's
three.
all separated.
It's different on each
I
one.
think there is a real reason,
That's interesting.
is that there wasn't any volcano on the rush itself.
Yeah, volcano's not involved on the rush yet.
Maybe that's the reason why.
Maybe if we put a volcano somewhere else,
Yeah.
they're gonna, okay, that's a good plan. But they won, yeah, they won on PC, they won on PS4 and on Xbox, which is a great feat. So we were, is there a problem? Because we have a ponderation also on this. Just like the faction war, depends on the amount of players you have in your faction, otherwise it would just be bad. And we looked at all the data, and we have the amount of execution per match in average. I did an average across all platforms. Ain't nobody got time for that. So to summarize, it's 1.46 execution per match.
Okay.
The Vikings is 1.53, and the Samurai is
No, the Knight.
the Knight, sorry, is 1.56. So they executed more per match than the other factions.
The reason why they won.
Which is why they won.
These trends are all very fascinating to me. What is it about the Knights that they execute more? What is it about the Knights that they're focused on volcano? Like,
They are very
really
complicated people.
it's like a personality test.
They have trends.
I guess from the beginning, right? Like with For Honor in general, the whole faction thing kind of already was a personality test a bit.
Yeah.
Well, that's also a theory of Jason, is that
Yeah.
everybody deep within, you know, if you're a Knight, a Viking, and a Samurai, and it has a big impact on who you are, your personality. Are you like badass and like to have fun and stuff, or do you like to meditate and be bored?
And look at data.
I also like data.
Oh, okay.
But
Maybe
that's
you're
it.
part samurai.
I love where it goes.
So that's
Cool.
it. That's where we're at. And also, thank you all for your feedback about the Apollyon event. It's always appreciated. We look at it and we need more
Yeah.
because all of this is very useful to us.
And are you looking for anything else faction war related? Like, are you looking for new places to take that for future seasons?
Oh, we're always improving. The
Yeah.
team is still running full speed on
Cool.
everything. We're looking at balancing the economy and what we want to do with the faction war. However, right now we're still looking at the behavior of people with strategic territories. It's fairly new, and we want to see if it has a good impact and how much it has a good impact and balance those numbers. This is more in the area we're in right now.
Cool.
It's in general,
And-
when we release something, we want to take some time to make
Yeah.
it great.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what I would say is that we did a huge push on faction war during 1 year. So a big part of her team was like 100% of the time focused on that. And now I think it's at a pretty cool level. We're still improving it, doing some tuning, etc. But I'd like them to switch to other subjects that need the same attention on the game.
Yeah, like the reward for rank, for example, that you
example,
mentioned. It's a
and-
good example.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, Beal, thank you as always for coming.
Welcome.
And we will be right back after another one of those beautiful transitions Max made to answer a lot of your questions. We've got some here. We prepared some ahead of time. So if you have questions about anything For Honor related, hit them in the chat. Pascal will try to grab them. Yes, we have Pascal today.
It's a rare treat.
But a caveat, we do not have Roman here. So
No,
some
so
of
I
the
will
very
answer
specific fight
everything.
things we
Yeah.
might not be able to answer. So there's that. So hit the transition, Max, and we'll be right back. Hey, yes, So, like I said, I have a bunch of prepared questions because I know what many of your questions are.
It's
Blip, blap, blip.
we wanted to do a Q&A section because I think it's quite some time we haven't done one, and then we are leaving with Roman for 2 weeks.
Yes, what are you doing?
I know that it wouldn't happen within the next 2 weeks, so then I wanted to do one today.
Are you and Roman taking a tropical vacation?
We're taking a tropical vacation we're going on war zones to witness how it works, so that we can put that into the faction.
Great.
What are you talking about?
No, we're going to South by Southwest and to the GDC, Game Developer Conference, to present our work on For Honor and to tell our story.
Yes.
So we've put in place a presentation. We'll be with the folks of Amazon who are working with for the dedicated servers as well. So we have several presentations over there.
Cool.
And we want to also enjoy the presentation of other teams and things like that. Look at what's going on the industry. So that's why we are leaving for 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks of this show will be without Tim and without Roman, and I know it's going to be hard for you, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah, it's okay. The presentations are good. If any of you go to GDC, it's a very good presentation.
And it should be recorded, so when it's available to share, we'll definitely share it as well, because I think people will want to see it.
Yeah.
But questions. Let's start with the one that most people are shouting, which is lag compensation.
So lag compensation, or what's the other name?
Input latency compensation.
Input latency, or
time snap removal.
That's what people use a lot. So same thing. It's still following the plan that we already shared with you a few times now. Dedicated server first. Now we're monitoring the latency of players on all platforms, on all different regions, etc., to figure out what's the best latency we need, the best lag compensation we need to put in place. Is it 1 frame? Is it 2 frames? Is it 3 frames? So we're waiting for that. And we're also doing internal, external test with some players, with some tweaking values, so that we can get the best out of it and take the best decision.
We have a thing. Pascal wanted us to talk about this. We haven't really talked about it on the show. We have a thing called the Rift.
Rifts.
It's not an Oculus Rift.
The
game is not coming to VR.
No.
But it's called the Rift Rapid Iteration Fight Testing.
Yes.
It's a tool that we can use with our fight team to test things like the updates to the heroes, balance changes, and starting next week, we're going to do one for the input latency compensation.
Yeah, so basically what we started doing like pretty long time ago after launch was community workshops where we're inviting players, key top players who identified, or key players from the community, so that they can play things that were still a lot in development, so that we can get their feedback early and adapt to that. And so mostly the new heroes we're doing, etc. And the next step of that, and that's also part of our presentation at GDC, are the Rifts, where now we can send builds directly to those players and manage a play session with them to have a more iterative feedback.
We don't have to fly people to Montreal
we do,
to test a change.
and we can discuss with them and have a different exchange on what they like, dislike, why, etc. So this way, it's another way for us to get feedback. Because we get feedback from the forums, from Reddit, from our community developers, from the community workshop, and now we have the Rift that is as well a new channel for us to get feedback so that we can make the best decisions. So that's another tool that's not replacing the other ones. So we're still doing community workshop, we're still doing public tests and things like that. It's just an extra tool that is giving us other type of feedback.
Like Batman's utility belt. It's just one of the little.
Yeah.
It's one of the little gadgets on his belt.
It's a new Batarang.
Yeah, a new Batarang.
Yeah.
There's no For Honor Batman coming, so don't ask. Or VR. Neither of those things are coming. You heard it here first. Division 2 just got announced. Shout out to those guys.
Yes, congrats.
While we're talking about games,
cool.
There's a Division 2 apparently. Good job.
Surprised.
I was surprised by. I was too.
I'm surprised.
Oh, that's great. We learned a lot from them.
Are you sure it's not a leak?
I don't know. Ubisoft tweeted it, so probably not a leak.
Okay.
But yes, they were kind of the first Ubisoft live game.
Yeah, and they shared a lot of
Rainbow.
information about their economy and how they handle difficulty and the player base. So they're great people, and the game is also cool.
And
but
they did a huge
really
comeback
stole a lot of
recently.
shit.
Yep.
from them.
Yes. And of course Rainbow as well.
Yeah.
Goes without saying, but we're one
We're
floor
all
below
part
them.
of the same
Yeah.
family. Live game within Ubisoft.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So all of that said, we're doing that test next week, the internal private test with these guys. That plus the actual data and what we're hearing from the community should give us all the info we need to set the proper latency compensation.
Yeah. Then we need to
soon
do
after
a
that.
live patch.
Yeah.
So it's still a patch, still need test and all.
Yeah.
And then we can release that.
But we're close.
It's good
is what I would
news.
say. I know people want it. We're close.
Yeah.
But we don't want to just release it without feeling confident that this is a thing that actually improves the experience. So
Exactly.
yes, stay tuned. We're there, almost there.
So that's cool.
Yes.
What
right.
else?
Let's do some of the ones from we got from chat here.
Okay, so we have one from AFA Regato 22. AFA Regato 22.
EA Ferrigato.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he asked for having bots at least level 2 in the minions, but the thing is the bots you get depends on the people they replace if you play in PvP. So your MMR defines the level of the bot. And if you play alone, it's the one of your team, so it's your skill.
And if you play in PvAI, it's the same rule. It's based on your MMR, but it's based on your PvP MMR.
Oh.
So if you haven't played any PvP match, or you played only 3 of them and you always died, you have a pretty bad PvP MMR. So it means that when you go in PvAI, you face only bots level 1.
Yes.
It's still something we'd like to change. We discussed it a long time ago. It's not on the top priority list, so it's still not done. But I'd like PvAI players who don't play PvP to be able to play against good bots.
Yes.
But yeah, in the meantime, it's based on your PvP MMR.
Yep. That's the
MMR
reason.
being your ranking, your hidden ranking that is based on your win and loss and
Matchmaking
your
ranking?
it's matchmaking ranking.
Someone just asked, Havoc Hyena asked, does Damien sleep?
Not recently, but it's one of the things I'd like to do in the 2 upcoming weeks, to sleep a bit
You're
more.
not going to get any time to sleep. You're going to be out late every night.
It was pretty rough.
But everybody's
those
talking
past 2
about your
months.
haircut, though, on the chat.
Yeah,
it was a big subject. I was watching the chat.
So this is also the other consequence of working all weekends, is that I couldn't do the haircut sooner. So I did it in a big way, so that I don't have to go there.
Oh, that's such a big change. I could
It's
barely
bigger.
recognize
Yeah, it's like,
you.
who are you?
Oh, no, it's a bit shorter. What the hell?
And now I'm relieved for like a good 3 months. And that's why they were way longer than what I like.
They're calling, calling it a Nicolas Cage haircut.
Oh, that's a bit true.
Hey, he's one of our finest actors. It's a compliment.
I like Nicolas Cage. So
I love Nicolas Cage.
I will sleep a bit more, hopefully, in the upcoming
I'm glad
2
that they're
weeks, and
concerned about
enjoy
you.
a different rhythm of life, because we
Different
won't have
what?
to work during
Resume?
rhythm.
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 Oh, rhythm. I thought you were saying like
Okay.
resume.
Anyway.
This is the
Okay,
rhythm.
enough about
See?
it.
Yeah, I got you.
See?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Anyway, maybe another question.
Yes.
From Big Dragon, yeah. Does the AFK time before kick starts when you spawn or when you die and start not using any key before you can have up to 35-second respawn time in Tribute? So with the 45-second kick idle, that's kind of short. So I don't have the exact details because we're working on improving AFK, in fact. So I'm validating a lot the new design. So I can't remember what is the old design. But I don't think... So AFK, it's AFK wherever you are. So if you're AFK in the menu, if you're AFK during your death, it's the same thing. Because during your death cam, you can still spectate people, you can still do inputs. So I think everything is considered as being AFK, if I remember well.
Okay.
Not sure about that. But if I remember well, that's how it works. So it's fine, you can watch during 35 seconds and not do any input, you won't be kicked out. Because there is the the time that triggers the AFK, the warning, and then there is the time that kicks you out. And those are two different times. Anyway.
Oh, you get a warning?
I think I'm confusing even more players than what I should.
No.
But Big Dragon, be reassured. It's okay. You won't be kicked out during your respawn time if you don't do any input there. Is there any AFK timer?
From Ovarian Delight. What a name. What a name.
And the answer is yes, of course. Of course it is. So same rules apply in PvAI. So don't do AFK in PvAI because we don't like that, and your teammates don't like it either.
Yep. Okay.
So let's do
go
another
to our
one
list here because this one's I've seen a few times. People asking. I highlighted it in green and now I can't read it.
What do the different connection indicators actually mean?
Yes. So when you're in the game, you can see high packet loss,
symbols. So
high latency.
There is a menu in the game, a menu, and not a restaurant menu. So there is a menu page inside the game where when you go on your profile, if you go on the right, on the box that's showing a connectivity, NAT, etc., and you click on it, there is a screen that gives you the whole detail of the different icons that are those icons.
Ooh.
And those are displayed on the top of your screen. It's a little yellow symbol that is warning you when something goes wrong. So when you have a high packet loss amount, for example, if you have a bigger latency than what you usually have, or you have a big latency variation, things like that, or you are running low on frame rate on PC, all of those could be reasons that if you see that popping a lot, that you will be disconnected within a minute because of that. So pay attention to that. And then try to see why you have high latency variations or things like that. It could be because you are downloading something in parallel. It could be because you're on Wi-Fi and your Wi-Fi is very much saturated on that channel because everybody on your block is on the same channel, so you need to change your channel, etc. I won't go into too many
Secretly,
details.
one of my favorite things is on Reddit when someone will complain about their connectivity. And they'll be like, I have really good Wi-Fi, and then everyone kind of piles on. It's like, don't play on Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
do it nicely, but that is the right message. Don't play on Wi-Fi.
That's the right message, and if you can't and you have to play on Wi-Fi, then like look at your Wi-Fi channel, you look at all of those things. You can really improve your Wi-Fi bandwidth as well. So
get one of those Nighthawk routers. Have you seen those? They look like a concept car from the 80s. They're amazing. They apparently super boost your Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Did you want to give the specifics? I brought the specifics.
So yes, high packet loss is displayed when 20% of the packets sent in the past 30 frames are lost.
Are lost.
Ah, of course.
So packet loss is basically we send packets, you send stuff.
Yeah.
And when you don't receive those, or when the other side don't receive those, then we saw that they are lost. And if you have a high amount loss, then it means that you have an issue with your bandwidth. High latency, it's when you reach 350 milliseconds. So it's fucking high latency.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's really bad. So when you are 350 milliseconds, there is very high chances you would get kicked from the match pretty quickly because you would lag a lot and it would be unplayable for you and for the others. Even with the servers that are helping a lot and in the reliability of your latency, it's still 350 milliseconds. I don't know many games that support that, to be honest.
Yeah, I was just going to, as a point of reference, back to the Italy example where people were saying connectivity is not great in Italy. If 350 is where we cut off for high latency, the average latency we have in Italy is like 120.
Yeah.
So
which is like
still a lot.
It's still a lot, but not even close to that. So.
Yeah. So yeah. High latency variation, it's when you have a 150 millisecond delta between highest and lowest value in the past X frames. X being a number we don't have for the show, but I don't know why. But anyway, so 150 millisecond latency variation is pretty huge too. So maybe your sister or somebody else started to do Netflix while you were playing or something like that, and then you anyway.
It's possible.
So that's possible.
It happened to me all the time during the Apollyon event. Then I realized that I was patching Shadow of Mordor
That's why. See,
on the same Xbox.
there are reasons.
It's amazing.
Low FPS, it's when you are at 50 milliseconds per frame. It's weird that they didn't give us the number of frames per second.
I feel like that
Milliseconds
does
per
that.
frame.
Yeah, I don't know. Milliseconds per frame. Yeah.
So it's
Data.
anyway.
Anyway, that's
Okay, I won't do the math now, but I would have said it differently.
yeah. It's a
Uh,
PC specific thing, obviously. We don't
Yeah,
have.
low FPS is PC specific, of course.
Yeah. Cool.
Maybe we can ask. That one is for you.
Yeah, the
Eric.
Viking.
The Vicky NG.
How do I contact you on Reddit? I have an execution idea for each character. Each character.
We look at Reddit. we
Yes,
can
I
say.
actually suggest posting it. Just post it on
And
the
then
subreddit.
if it gets popular, we read it.
That's sort of the magic of Reddit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I saw a bunch of execution ideas already.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now it's a trend.
It is a trend, and we get some really
Yeah.
good ones. And
Yeah.
I do send those to our executioners, and a lot of the times we're like, "Yep, we've
The
already."
executioners.
That's what I call them.
He's wearing his hood all day with his big axe. He's just chilling on the floor.
With a bloody shirt.
People are avoiding
Not very
him,
friendly,
You know?
yeah.
No.
But no, I do send those, and a lot of the times they've already seen it. Like, yeah, we're gonna check this out and see if it's possible. Like, so we do really like that feedback. So yeah, post it on Reddit. You can tag me if you're not familiar with Reddit. You can tag people. My username is Mr. Eric Pope, Mr. Eric Pope. So MrEricPope. Just do /u/Mr. Eric Pope.
It a bit ties in with the next question from Ali Hayek. Hayek?
Ali H.
IH. Sorry, you know French. And he asked if we have accounts that can pop up in the game and experience the community. If maybe he played with a dev in a duel. We play all the time.
There are a lot of devs from the team that play the game.
Yep.
For sure. We have ways to be recognized, but
So-
it's on people. It's people choice.
Yeah.
So we can wear a Ubisoft.
We have an ornament.
Yeah, it's an ornament.
We have a Ubisoft ornament, and we have a Ubisoft symbol as well
Logo, yeah, on the character.
that we can put. I know.
Some people don't because
some
it makes
people
them a
don't do
target.
it because it makes you a target, and some people just want to chill and have fun and might not be as good as you.
Yep.
So they don't want to become targets.
I have it. I wear it on my
I wear it
characters.
too, but I won't tell you my my name.
But clearly you're a
obviously.
Kensei, so that narrows
But
it down.
clearly I'm a
I
Kensei.
can say with the Ubisoft ornament is probably them.
Yeah.
We're quite a few Kensei. There is Andrew, for
Yeah,
example,
who played? Yeah.
who played during the last stream. Anyway, so yes, we do play the game a lot.
Yes. So Pascal would like us to answer this one because everyone's shouting it,
And it's in red.
and it's in red. Thank you, Pascal. Juanito01, or Jonito, sorry, Jonito01. Are there going to be other character reworks in the future? Yes.
I would have said no.
Well, sorry, I've just decided.
No, we want to do other stuff in.
He's troll. He's a troll
Don't
today.
troll people.
Trollian.
They're gonna take
Yes,
that
yes,
for-
Trollian
and
Pekin.
we are working on those
Yes.
as I speak.
Yes. And that's all we're going to say today. But yes.
And that's all I
more
can
coming.
say. So don't give detail. I can tell you that one is a, is a fighter.
Oh,
Another one is wearing a weapon.
he's
etc.
wearing
Wearing a
the
weapon.
weapon.
See, now they're
It
going to think
is
you're
on his
actually giving
neck.
a clue and they're going to look.
It's like, who is
wearing-
wearing a weapon?
Wielding a
He's
weapon.
wielding a weapon. Anyway,
All right, this question up here is also on our list, so let's answer it. What is love TV? Oh my God. Nat type still matter in PvP,
they don't, but they do in the game.
but you do still see it in the game currently.
So NAT type is still used for PvAI matches, of course, for custom games as well, but now they are not used for PvP. Then there is a question I'm not aware because we're still working on the groups, and I don't know if we still use NAT for groups. I don't think so. No, I'm pretty sure we don't, but I don't want to say
But that's a good news for people that want to play tournaments.
That's a very good news for people who want to do
that was a
dual
blocker
tournaments
before.
because you couldn't
Yep.
if you had a red nat. Now, if you have a red nat, you can play dual tournaments, and that's amazing.
It's a cool.
Highlander has a knife on his belt. We already did a Highlander update.
Yeah.
It's not the only one. There's also the Aramusha. He has like two little ninja toe, I think, on his belt. So.
I think the Shinobi has some stuff.
Don't play into the speculation.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm falling in the rabbit hole. There.
Anyway, they go on the battlefield, they kill other players.
Here's a good one. Why can't I get into a match of tribute when it says very high activity?
Because you suck. No.
What?
Man,
Why?
No, no.
I think you do need some sleep, Damien.
No.
He's leaving. He's like, I'm not gonna
Yeah, he's
deal
on
with the
vacation.
fallout
No.
of my comments.
So first thing. Okay.
Why?
We have a bug.
We discovered the bug that the activity that is displayed is not linked to the game mode, but is linked to the game mode family.
Right.
So Tribute and Dominion are in the same game mode family, and one is way more popular than the other.
We'll let
which
them
is
decide
Dominion.
which one it is.
So the answer is maybe because Tribute wasn't in high activity,
It's not truly,
but
yes.
it was because
It's a bug.
Dominion. So it's a bug, we're aware of it, we're working on it.
Yep.
I don't know what's the ETA for now, but
It's
as soon as
possible,
we spotted it, because of questions like that, so thank you for that question, you don't suck. In the end, we could identify it, and now working on a fix.
Yep.
Also, just want to make something clear.
I'm actually going to give a direct
It's not
shout out.
because you
Hold on.
have a low activity.
I'm going to give a direct shout out to our moderator, Tiff, because he pinged me directly about that specific question, and it led me to say, what up with that? And then it led our Team Onion lead to be like, what up with that? And then they, thank you, Tiff.
And then another thing is that it's not because you have a low activity that you won't find a match. We put that mostly for waiting time expectation.
Yep.
And yes, sometimes you don't find a match in low activity. This happens because we prefer to kill the matchmaking after 5 minutes. I find it depends on the place, but so that you don't win indefinitely if you have a bug or something. But yeah, so you should find tribute matches. Seriously, it's not that unpopular. It's still one of the mods that is pretty much played.
Right.
Ranked tribute, yes. Ranked tribute, yes. Agreed. But normal tribute, you should find a match. But maybe that's why. Maybe ranked tribute was high activity because of the game mode family, why it wasn't.
Right.
Maybe that's why.
So there
We
you go.
solved everything.
We've solved everything. We haven't actually fixed that yet, so let's
Thank you for that question.
All right, Damien, this is one that actually it's your team as well. Getting yelled at about this a lot. I guess it's not actually your team, but it interfaces what you guys do. When will you make neutral color swatches available for attacker and defender? You hate them being locked to neutral only.
Do you may if I answer?
He doesn't know what you're going to say.
I don't know what you're gonna say, but but let's go, and I will.
Okay. If I'm talking too much, tell me. A while ago, before I was on the engagement team, I was on the game mode team, and I designed the game modes that were there before the launch. And when I was doing that, we had issues with people knowing what team they were on, especially new players. They would get ganged. They were like, "Whoa, what happens?" and think their friends were attacking them. So we did a lot of play tests, and we did what we call eye tracking. So you look exactly where the pupil of the player is looking on the screen and what they're looking at. And we realized that in For Honor, we have what we call tunnel vision. So you look really in the center of your screen, a lot.
Because this is where you see the animations of your opponent, you see your stance, widget, etc.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have the behavior that you see in shooter of people that they like go through the whole screen. They don't scan the screen. They really focus on the middle of the screen. So what we did is we tried changing the color of the outfits of the characters and not only the names. And it really had a big improvement on beginner players and lower tier players if you want.
It's making you even high level player like your reactivity time is better.
It's instinctual
with that.
instead of being
it's
okay.
Like
I
you're
recognize
earning
it.
some reactivity. So we hear you that customization wise it's limiting the choices. And also, that's one of the reasons why some parts you need to have, you're forced, in fact, to have a paint pattern, because that's what wears the color of attacker and defender. And some other, we allow you to remove it, because it's okay, you still have two places that have that color. So right now, we don't plan to allow neutral colors in your team. Never say never, but for sure, if we wanted to do that, we would have to find something else, like an outline, etc. And those were ideas that we removed because performance-wise, they were impacting a lot, and they were bringing other issues like legibility, readability of movement, etc., etc. I say that because I see that suggested on the Reddit as well. An example, we have other constraints that shooters don't have, for example. So for the moment, it's the best solution we found.
But where available, we have some that we can make available. When
that's the other thing. We can improve the selection.
Yeah, and
of
sometimes
the
when we create outfits, the team is in a rush, so sometimes they don't put it or attacker defender, so that we patch it afterwards. Now it gets more into the process of each time we do a neutral color. We ask ourselves, can it be in one of the two camps? The process is still not
we
perfect.
need to basically...
And yes, I'm as frustrated as the community when first thing I see when we release an outfit, it's like, why is it not attacker defender?
It's got obvious blue
it's
there.
Blue. Yes, you're right. And sometimes it's already fixed, but it couldn't make it in the patch, so it goes in the next one.
So that's something on our side we can improve.
Yeah, we're improving on that.
Cool. Good answer. Maybe not the answer people want, but it's a good
very
answer.
Good answer, in fact. I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm happy
that
you were answered. The purple stuff and all, it was wow.
It was fun, actually.
She's
it was
good.
a cool position.
A lot of people, and this happens whenever we do something new that's cool, want Test Your Metal to be a permanent mode.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Same thing as Dance of Death.
Yeah, exactly.
The thought is really clear, is that we think one of the things that makes it cool is that it's not permanent as well, that you can enjoy it for a moment and then it's gone. It doesn't mean it can't come back. It doesn't mean it will come back either. But yeah, we want to create surprises. We want to create moments where you're enjoying something else. We can't keep permanent everything that is cool, because then it would split the player base a lot. And then it means longer matchmaking. It means you don't find the player you want to play with. It means you don't find the player with the right skill you want to play with, etc., etc. And it degrades the quality of the game everywhere. We can make strong choices per moment, saying, okay, now we're removing this mod, or this mod becomes that. Like we change the rule of spawning in skirmish, etc. So we can change through time, of course, and we look at feedbacks for that. But we think that the value of events is also that they are temporary. And I'm super happy to hear that feedback say, oh, leave it permanent, it's so cool. It means that we're doing well our job. Because the team has fun to do that as well.
I think it
they
also
have
shows
fun
that
to play with the rules of the game.
It shows that there's a decent interest in the PvE type stuff.
Yeah,
for
sure.
This hasn't been a big focus.
It didn't fall into deaf ear for that. We heard the feedback about people liking PvE AI, PvE actually, and it's interesting.
And we can tell you that this one, the hardest one we've did for an event, and we really struggled at the beginning. Because at the beginning, you could cheese the bots, there was no challenge, and even after adding challenge, it was getting boring super quickly. So it was a huge amount of work to find the right ways to upgrade their difficulty, etc., to do the 3 different weeks. So we were like, okay, it's for an anniversary event. Let's put the efforts on it because we want it to be awesome. But it was really not a given. At the beginning, a lot of people from the team were doubtful we would be able.
I was doubtful. When I played the early versions,
we would be able to do a PvE AI event that is cool and that stays cool on the long run.
So I was wrong because it was very fun.
We got there in the end.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe just a couple more because I know you've got a meeting to go to soon, and
Yes.
probably
And
have
me
not
too.
had lunch.
Hey, you're in the same meeting.
Yeah, and I need to eat. Yeah.
Yes. So.
Please, Eric.
Oh, actually, these ones we've answered. Sorry. We do answer this one a lot, but Bernardo79, when is inventory space being increased?
For the moment, it's still not something. So we investigated it. It's impacting a lot the performance. So for the moment, we have a no-go from the technical team. We can't do it. It doesn't mean we will never do it, but it means that for the moment we haven't found a solution that performance-wise is correct. We still have a feature in the cooking, in the making, that I already discussed about, that will also help for people who saved their event item so that they can reuse that visual on a higher level item, etc., etc. That's all part of the same feature made in BIOS team. We're still not discussing about that feature yet because it's still not ready, but it will help on that aspect.
For sure.
For sure.
Cool. Let's do a bit of a lightning round. When we vote for a map, can it be possible to change our map vote? Champion Ruby 50G.
So it's a design choice to not do that because we want player to vote and take into consideration the other players' votes, so that you don't have map vote cheesing, if I can say that, where a group is everybody was voting for one thing, then they change at the last second to vote for something else, then it's bringing confusion, etc. So you have different ways to do map vote. In video games, we took to the approach to say when you vote, you voted for good. This is what we send to everybody else so that they can adapt to that and so that there is no surprises on what you will play next if you want to do that accordingly.
Lightning round.
It's not very light.
Yeah.
No?
Okay. Candle in the Dark asks, in the future, is it possible that similar to tournaments, event outfit drops could prioritize the hero currently in use before going random, or even weight drops based on reputation?
Weight drops based on reputation, probably never, because we want people that start the game to also have the cool stuff. So that would be sad.
Yeah.
Design-wise, I'm against it. Oh, lightning. Sorry, the first part is based on hero.
Yeah.
It's deliberately that we have it random.
Yeah.
Because we had good comments about it, about having now the reward from the tournament being hero-based, and the ones in the match being more random, because it also gives you discount on those bundles. So we had good feedback on it. So it's a question of preference.
And exactly, and we had two ways to see it. Either we're prioritizing the heroes, and again, it's an extra dev, etc. But maybe you could do it. But by doing that, we would lower the drop rate because we don't want you to have everything within free match. So either we do that, and then it means you rarely get an event item. But when you get it, it's for your hero. Either we're on the generous side, as we prefer the approach to do, which is always at almost each match you get something, but you don't know for who. And we prefer that. We prefer to say, hey, it's an event time, you always get cool stuff, but not right away on your hero. But if you play enough, then you will get everything anyway. And it's also for us, what is cool is that it maybe drives you to the secondary heroes, third hero you have, to also get the stuff, etc. So we prefer to reward your roster more quickly than a specific hero more quickly and then hinder the whole roster.
Yeah,
that was the approach.
It's a cool surprise when you play your other characters and you say, oh yeah, that's true, I looted that, this.
Cool. Okay.
So that's the reason.
Lightning round. Great. I think that's probably enough questions for now. We are going quite long, and we still have a community corner to do.
Yeah.
I know you guys have to go to a meeting, so it's fine. I can do it myself.
Sorry.
Just me in the corner, like that song.
So have a good Warriors then.
Thank you.
In the next 2 weeks.
Have a good 2 weeks off.
Bye.
Enjoy the ranking updates.
Thank you.
Because
my gift to you.
And tell me what's going on those.
Oh, you're going to be on email?
Yeah.
All right. Don't commit to being on email if you're not going to be.
I will be reading my emails and working on every day. No
Awesome.
problem.
All right, thank
Voilà.
you very much, and we'll be right back with Community Corner.
Thank you.
It's just me now. Wow, still wide though. Still wide. Should bring it right in. Bring it right into my nose. Don't do that. So here we are, Community Corner. If this is your first time watching, I don't know if that's the case. We try to share clips from the community as much as we can, so we've got a good bunch of them this week. They're all very short except for the last one. So let's dive in. First one is a video from Friend of Walrus. Shinobi can be all right sometimes. If you couldn't tell what was going on there, the Shinobi kind of pulled his own teammate out of the line of fire, which is not something I realized you could do, but that was dope. Okay, Google Snoof has a GIF. Season 2 flashbacks. Maybe this will give you flashbacks as well. The Shinobi and the Scent. Excellent teamwork. Kick, kick, die. Good stuff. And this is our well-known, famous YouTuber, Spliced. Law, I am the law. This is also very, very short. Just a cool visual there. Thank you. Like I said, these are all really short clips this week. I don't know why. Most of them are like 7 seconds. It's a trend in the community. All right, from Douchebag, good name. Death from Above. Two quick kills. Good job, Douchebag. All right, now we've got a GIF from 5XG. So utterly predictable. Yeah. This is for the folks upset about shamans. I think you get to see a little shaman revenge here. A good Kensei defense. Kensei defense. All right. There it is. The predictable pounce and kill. And then there you go. Good job. Good job. You killed that shaman. Okay, Kaleidoscope 98. I hate it when they give these titles that are like a script. Now I got you legendary. Not again. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I see. I guess I should have done that as the video was happening. I should have done the script. All right, another 7-second video from Rabbi Andy. New Raider execution, self-destruct. This one made me lol. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, a GIF from Porno Magnum. Fellow Knights, I can't tell you how long this took to make, so for the love of Hervis Daubeny, listen to Papa Deus. It's a long title. Yes. A little outrage at the volcano. I get it. We're all there. All right, and my man, Long Dong of the Law, meme compilation 11. Let's check it out.
Be more careful.
I hope nobody will come on your back.
Phrasing?
When you are turning, it is important to signal at least 40 feet from the
Big
turn.
fat meanie.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
This needs to stop now. This is not okay. This is cancer. This is so much cancer.
Ay, 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 ay.
Well done, Long Dong. And our final video of the week, this is a long one, just to warn you ahead of time, but I really liked this one. This is my favorite thing I saw this week. It is a fan-made kind of a Polygon trailer to celebrate the anniversary of the game. It's called My War Has Come Home. So if you haven't already, Fred, you can start the raffle, do it during this video because it's 5.5 minutes long. But let's check it out.
Ashveld. I was born here, out in the scrublands. 20 years ago, the Iron Legion had been on the verge of losing it to the Vikings entirely. Almost every fortress in these lands was first built a millennium ago. We lay new construction on top of old and call it our own. We're children playing at Empire. The Vikings have raided every year for as long as I can remember. They sack, loot, burn. My village was destroyed by them. Mine and hundreds of others. Warriors rarely see the people their wars affect. The displaced, the murdered, the starving. I saw all that when I was younger. I never forgot the lesson. I am Apollyon. I was a warden once. Now I have become something greater. I am the 8th warlord of the Blackstone Legion. The only one strong enough to survive. And through me, this land will see a new age. When we stop fighting against it, nature will always reassert itself. So it is with stone, so it is with plants, with animals, and so it is with people. Wherever we go, the peaceful life that is called civilization scatters. I do not envy the meek and helpless common folk. They live a life of fear. They cannot defend themselves. They cannot be blamed for being what they are. But neither should they be allowed to deny it. A monk once told me that true peace is the product of one's mind and body working in perfect harmony. A battlefield, then, is one of the most peaceful places you can be.
Yield. Face justice. I'll pass.
My war has come home at last. I will not flee from it. I will win.
It's over. We will have peace.
Peace. So, what happens now? You all just go home? You came into my home. And you brought your armies. What did you think would happen? Peace? That isn't how the world works. Don't speak to me of your virtues. Duty. Kinship. Honor. You've forgotten what you are.
You want war. Only war.
All I want is for you to admit what you are. All of you. My wolves.
Thanks so much, Era Plays, for making that. That is the YouTube channel as well, I believe, Era Plays. That is it for this week's show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's been a lot longer than I expected it would be, but we did a good long Q&A, so I'm happy with that. As always, you can reach me on my Twitter at Mr. Pope, or you can hit me up on Reddit. I'm usually there. I can't, it's actually been, I've been inundated in the last few weeks with messages, so I can't always answer my direct PMs on Reddit, but I do see them, and I do see it when you tag me into threads, but my time is so limited. So apologies if I haven't responded to you directly. Chances are I have at least seen your message. So thank you very much. As always, we'll be back next week with no Damien and no Rahman, but I will be here because I have no life. So we'll see you next time, and have a good week. Thanks, everybody.